Hi, this is Matt in Singapore. What you can see behind me, that's the Sentosa Island. And the topic of this video is WIP. WIP as in work in progress in the context of time management. Well, you've probably heard this one before. You've got plenty of things to do. You're asking your manager, okay, so what is the priority? What is important? And then the answer you get is everything is important. And that's usually really bad. That's where there is a problem. You don't want to be in that situation. So what is WIP? Well, WIP is work in progress. It's all the things that you're currently doing at the same time. So if you're familiar with Kanban boards, you know that the simplest Kanban board will have 3 columns, a to-do column, an ongoing column, and then a done column. And inside the ongoing column, you've got all the tasks that you've started, and the number of tasks there is simply your WIP. So there are queuing theories that show that overall it is ineffective, that the higher you WIP, the slower your flow overall. So you're less productive, the more things you have going on at the same time, the less productive you are. So no surprise there, it's quite intuitive. But now there is another aspect to it, there is the human aspect. So if you've got a lot of things going on at the same time, let's say you've got 10 items inside your WIP, well, that shows that there is a problem somewhere. There is a problem with prioritization, because you're not really, either your boss is not providing you with the priorities, or you're saying yes to too many things, or you don't really stop and ask yourself, okay, what is the most important thing and why should I be working in priority? Why is everything important? Everything cannot be important. There are things that are more important than others. So there is a real human aspect to it. There is a problem with the prioritization, and this actually creates other problems. Is that if you've got 15 things going on together, you're not really finishing anything. So everything gets delayed, and you don't have this rewarding feeling of ticking a box and saying this is done. So this creates stress, this creates confusion. You say, okay, what should I be working on next? I don't know, because I've got 15 things going on at the same time, so I'm confused. And you're not finishing things, you're getting stressed, you're getting confused, and therefore you're going to start working slower. So the time it takes to do one thing is actually, that's going to be longer, because you're in a worse state of mind. You're not focused on one thing. You're confused. So there is the queuing theory aspect that goes against high WIP values, and then the simple human aspect of it. So a Kanban board can have another column. There is one situation where it is productive to have many things ongoing at the same time. So what is the situation? It's when some of your tasks can block because you are waiting on someone else to come back to you. You're waiting for information from another team, or you're waiting for a lengthy operation to complete, a build to complete. You're waiting for IT to come back to you about setting up permissions for access to a shared drive, something like this. Whenever you're waiting, obviously you want to catch up on start working on another task. So if you've got many things going on at the same time, then you will never be idle. So in that respect, you can fine-tune the notion of WIP by adding another column to your Kanban board that's simply called waiting. So if you've got a 4th column just before the done column, you have the 4th column called waiting, and then every time a task is blocking, it's ongoing but blocking, then you put it inside the waiting column. So now your WIP, your number of tasks that are really ongoing, effectively ongoing at the same time, is going to be smaller. So those are really the tasks that you are literally round robin, because there's no other way, apart from round robin, there's no other way that you can tackle 2 or 3, 4, 5 things at the same time. And it's this amount of tasks that you want to keep as low as possible, because there is really almost no point in having many things going on at the same time, unless you're really not sure which one is going to finish first, in which case it makes sense. you have a lot of things to do, you go to your manager, you ask, so what is the priority? What's the most important? And the answer you get is everything is important. And that's usually very bad. That means we're in panic mode. We're not thinking anymore, we're just under pressure, we say yes to everything, and we're in a state of panic. So this is something you want to avoid. You don't want to be in the situation where you're not prioritizing. So that means you don't want, you want to monitor your WIP, you want to make sure it's not going, that's not too high. If it's going over a particular value, you need to stop and ask yourself, okay, what is important? What do I need to do first? Who is going to die? Which world is going to stop turning if I'm not doing those tasks?